Relax. It's ASMR. Hello everybody. Well, today's video is probably going to be a series of videos. I have all these things that have been in my ASMR closet or drawer, and things that I've bought wanting to make videos of, but then other things came along or I had better ideas or something like that. Anyway, these are kind of the things that got stuck by the wayside. So I figured I would clean out my ASMR closet for this video and maybe the next few videos. And we would go through these things and just see what they are. Hopefully they're not too old and dried out. They shouldn't be. They're not that old. But you never know. This is probably the oldest. I got this several years ago and never really got around to doing it, because I enjoy putting Legos together, but my Lego videos normally do not do that well historically. So I figured it wasn't something that everyone else was interested in. So it kind of got put off and put off and put off. So now is a perfect time to bring it in. And we have some slime that we can make. This is a holographic slime, which means I guess it just has glitter in it. We have some paint, glue, gel, stickers we can make. Put them onto plastic, let them dry, and peel them off. We have some Mars sand or moon sand or whatever it's called. That is pretty cool. It doesn't make a whole lot of noise, but visually it is very interesting, probably almost more so just keeping it in the package. But we've got that to work with. We have some extra buttery fluff. We have the fake Legos. And then we have some foam type things. And I'll probably do these all three together, and maybe if we mix them up, we can get something really cool. So that's what we have for this video and the next few. But I kind of wanted to make a series out of it, sit down and just kind of go through all of them at once. So I think we're going to start with these, see how that goes, and then move on from there. So I hope you will join me on this little adventure as we explore the world of ASMR. I resisted putting on my British accent for that. It is not good enough for me to be Sir David Attenborough. Okay. So we're going to start with this one, and let's see. Hopefully we shouldn't need any other tools other than what is in this box. The tape is only slightly yellowed. It's not that old, but the tape is slightly yellowed. Maybe it sat around in a warehouse for a while. If I wait a few more years, maybe it'll be vintage. is empty. My smaller studio space, I don't have a whole lot of room to put things. Okay, so we have, looks like patterns. We have instructions, that's important. We have helpful tips. We have some sheets of clear acetate. We have the glue with a large space up here, which I assume is our palette in which we can work from, our canvas, if you will. And we have a clear lid, which we may be able to use. Let's see. First thing is to read the instructions. Helpful tips. When using crazy gel paints, always replace the cap between each use. If the nozzle gets clogged, use a safety pin or paper clip to clear the blockage. Good to know. Getting started, find a clean, flat work surface. Protect your surface with paper towels or newspapers before starting. I don't plan on being that messy, but you never know. Choose a design for one of the templates and position it on the tracing sheet over it. You may want to tape them down. Start at the top of your design and work your way down to avoid smearing. Work from left to right if you are right-handed, and right to left if you are left-handed. That's very good. You may find it easiest to fill in large areas first and then the small details. Make sure all areas are covered and touching so the design stays together. Wipe the tip of the paint tube clean when switching colors. To create another sticker, carefully move the tracing sheet to avoid smearing your completed design. When you're happy with your designs, move the tracing sheet to a protected area and allow it to dry overnight. Once dry, carefully peel the designs from the tracing sheet. You can now reuse the tracing sheet to make new designs. Designs stick to most non-porous smooth surfaces like mirrors, windows, lockers, and more. So then we have here some examples. You can fix a mistake by wiping the gel off of the tracing paper before it hardens. If your design tears, repair it by applying gel over the split area and letting it dry. Gel will wash easily from skin and most children's fabric with soap and water. Do not use pre-wash or chlorine bleach, blah, blah, blah. Make a rainbow effect by switching from one color to the other. That's pretty good. Okay. You can adjust how big the gel comes out by squeezing harder. Pretty useful tips. So it looks like we have a pink, a blue, a yellow, and an orange. And I wonder if we could just put the thing straight onto here, but it may be hard to peel off. It'd be easier to peel off of the acetate. I need to follow the instructions. Okay. So we have all kinds of fun shapes. We have some cherries. We have a little smiling soda, pizza, flower, bee, and hungry face. We have a love you #1, a frame, another flower, butterfly, yum, ice cream cones, candy, lollipop, donut, ladybug, shake or coffee, taco, and hugs and kisses with donuts, which I love. A bagel, maybe? Donut with sprinkles? Not sure. Watermelon, strawberry, sweet, French fries, cupcake. So, heavily leaning on the food category, which is awesome. So let's move this out of the way. And what shall we do first? Let's see. None of those are really grabbing me. The soda's kind of cute. The donut is awesome. I like this as well. Okay. Put these off to the side. And then we'll also put our acetate down. And I think we're going to do this right here. If you can see it correctly, it looks like it may be a little washed out from the lights. Okay, I'm not going to tape it down. I'm going to live dangerously. And since these colors are not really realistic donut colors, I think we're going to have to, first of all, see if these glues are still viable. They may be dried out. So let's do a test here. Here it comes. I think we're getting there. Okay. Good. So let's start with, let's start with the background, and then we'll fill in and kind of start from the outside and go in. Oop, that one's ready to go. So, I'm going to squeeze out, kind of paint with the tip of the glue stick. Very gently working our way around, gently squeezing. We want to lay down enough for it to all stick together. But we also don't want to make it goopy. It'll take forever to dry. Pull that up there. Pull that over there. What do you think? Doing good so far? Go around this little edge of the donut. Try not to move the paper and the acetate. And come on around, finishing up the first letter here. Just like that. Yeah, it flows pretty easily. Doesn't take too much to squeeze it out. Keep moving. Finishing up here around this first donut. Okay. Then we just need to do the next X, which we've already done. A shape like that, so we know what we're doing. I think this may have a bit of a strawberry smell. I'm kind of getting, yeah, it's got some sort of fragrance added to it. So it is a multi-sensory experience. It'll be interesting to see if the fragrance lasts once it has dried. So you have stickers that have a fragrance to them. Fill in these gaps here. Make sure you get all the way to the edge. The container's a little hard to squeeze, but I guess that gives you more control because it wants to suck the glue back up inside of it as soon as you let go a little bit, so it helps it stay inside instead of dripping out. Oops. Got a little ear there. That's okay. Got a thick glob here that is thicker than the area it's supposed to fill. Okay, come around this way. Slowly work our way around. Almost done. Keep squeezing the bottle. Okay. A little rough on that side, but that's all right. Okay. Gently release. And per the instructions, we will cap up the pink. So now I want to do the X's, and I think I'm going to do them in blue. Looks like that may be a little dried. What do you think? Can try to do them in blue. Let's see. Here it comes. A little bit at a time. It is not as easy as the pink. Okay. This may be a disaster. Yep, it's pretty dry. Come on now. Maybe it was just that first little bit. I'm having to put significant pressure on that. Yeah, this is much more of a paste than a gel. I may have waited too long to use this particular product. Squeeze. Okay, well, I'm still going to see if I can get this to work. Because it is coming out. It's just a different consistency than the pink. If I can get them to touch and seal up against each other, we will have a very textured X, but it should at least hold together. Bring it down here. This is all very suspenseful, isn't it? Will it work? Will I run out of blue? Will it be a sticker worthy of my locker? It's like working with very thick frosting. At least anchoring it to the pink seems to help it have a place to start building up from. This may be a longer video than I thought. But that's fine. It's all about the process. These videos are not a sprint. They are a marathon. Should probably start talking over here on this side. I'm kind of leaning over against one microphone instead of the other one. It's a little lumpy, but we're going to call that texture. And say that we planned it that way. a nice big gloop right here to bring over, fill in that area. And then another to fill in this area. At least with this you can squeeze out a little bit and then use the tip to smear it to where you want it to go without having to keep squeezing on the bottle. Okay. This has, I think, about the same sweet fragrance to it that the pink did. Yeah, they're all kind of just the same. It's not really a distinct, separate fragrance from anything, just kind of generally sweet. Work that up there. So now we know these things definitely have an expiration date. It's getting really hard to control. Get up in there. I want to get it right up to that top of that X. And I think that's working. It's smeared up a little bit onto the pink. See if I can smooth it out. Okay. This is high drama, right? But I am determined to finish this one letter in this color. Seems to do okay if you then mix it, kind of get it moving on the acetate. Then it seems to want to stick to itself a little bit better. Kind of swirl it around and then move it where you want it to go. I think what I'm squeezing out is actually just a little bit thicker than what I've squeezed out at the beginning. It's just a little bit harder to move. doesn't want to adhere to itself as well as it was at the beginning. Get in there. Well, this may be a bust if the other colors are also this difficult to work with. But we will have cleaned it out of our closet. Whoa. Well, there's a lot of water. I think this separated. Well, that's not good. Well, now you're just making things difficult, aren't you? Okay. Part of this is knowing when to stop. And I think that was our clue to stop. Yeah, you can see it's all really, really liquid, and then you've got the thick. Yeah, it's not really coming back together. Whale. As my mother would say, phooey. Well, phooey. What a mess. So, blue is a bust. Almost literally. Let's see what yellow does. Yellow is about the same. It is not wanting to behave. So pink was really holding on for us. And I think orange is going to be a little bit better, but yeah, this is a mess. So, thank you for joining me on this disaster. But now we know. These are only crazy up to a certain point, and then they just become nasty. So, we are going to move on to our next item in my ASMR closet. Hopefully to better results. Let's put that there. I'll let that dry. I don't think anything will come of it, but it looked like a really neat product if you didn't wait for a few years before you started working with it. I bought this when you're 8. You're now 18. Let's see if it works. So, the next video will be one of the other items in our closet.